Ennui Breathes Malice is an amazing melodic deathcore band that got pretty popular during the Myspace era. I'm sure a lot of you remember their EP of Agony and Ecstasy, but what else do you actually know about the band? From a gnarly accident to recording with Roman from the Red Shore and playing with tons of amazing bands, today it will be my honor to tell you their story. So my friend, as usual, take a cup of coffee, a cigarette, some waffles, whatever you feel like, as I tell you the story of Ennui Breathes Malice. A big thank you to all my Patreons. You guys are absolutely amazing and you have no idea how big of a difference you really make, because I want to make this whole thing full-time one day and this is the best way to support. So again, thank you so much. If you want to be a part of our community, feel free to join our Discord, and also coming out with us during our live deathcore podcast on Twitch every Wednesday. With all that being said, let's start the video. So the band was officially founded in 2007 in Ballarat, Australia, but the project started before that in 2005 when Ben, the guitar player, met Ash, their drummer, at a Mudvayne show, only to realize that they were both living 9 houses away from each other. The irony is that prior to the concert, they had been talking for a year over text message, and all this time they could have walked 2 minutes and play music together, basically. So after 2 years of playing together and trying different things, they finally realized that they wanted to sound heavier. And just like that, Ennui Breathes Malice was born. But it was very important to them to be different, to stand out, both in terms of music and aesthetic, and the name Ennui Breathes Malice was perfect to represent that. Because, in case you didn't remember, during those days, especially in the metalcore scene, the band names were weird, the song titles were crazy. So just to give a little context, Ennui Breathes Malice kind of took that route, but since they were in deathcore, it made them stand out even more. So with their new mindset, they started writing music and looking for vocalists as well, but it wouldn't last very long because, unfortunately, right after they had found their official vocalist and as they were writing their very first song together, things took a turn for the worst. Ben got into a major car accident when he hit a spot of black ice as he was driving over 100 kilometers an hour. He was instantly airlifted to the hospital and he had real severe injuries. We're talking almost a full broken neck, his skull was cracked up to here. It was really bad, so bad that he was in a coma for over 10 days. In an attempt to cheer him up, Ash and Alex went to visit Ben at the hospital and they showed him a few demos, really rough demos they were working on at the time. It gave Ben the courage and strength to push through, and after a few weeks he was finally given permission to go back home. Believe it or not, even though he still couldn't walk, he took his entire strength, all the energy he had, to write an entire album. All the lyrics, all the music, everything. And after that, he was finally back on his feet, so the band decided to go record in a studio with none other than Roman from the Red Shore, and then they finally released their first demo. Such a great demo, and honestly, now that we have the context with the accident and everything the band went through together, it makes so much sense to me. That's why it's so powerful and emotional, right? The demo had 2 songs, including the most embarrassing part about hardcore dancing and When Curiosity Kills a Dog, which, as we all know, would become their most popular song by far. We'll get to that. Musically, the melodies were beautiful, the songwriting was very tasteful in my opinion, the vocals were just perfect, drum parts really ties the whole thing together. It was overall just an amazing demo. Of course, the next logical thing to do was to complete their lineup and to promote the demo live, which is exactly what they did. Amazing, right? But funny enough, they were not even playing in their hometown for the most part. Most of their shows would be in other cities and whatnot, which I don't know, was kind of surprising to me. They were also handing out burnt CDs. It really brings you back just thinking about it, but it was a thing that we were doing back then with LimeWire and all that stuff. Then, in June 2008, Ben found out that he needed extra urgent neck surgery because apparently one wrong movement could paralyze him or even worse, end his life. So you can imagine his reaction hearing that just after playing shows live. Fortunately, it wasn't too late. Ben had the surgery and sure, they couldn't play shows, but it gave them time to go back in the studio with Roman, complete their EP, and finally release of Agony and Ecstasy. This EP is so good. I don't even know where to start. I mean, it's one of my favorite. The freaking songwriting is so interesting from start to finish, and I would even call it experimental. I mean, having a part like this and a part like that in the very same song should tell you how versatile the musicality really is. In terms of vocals, Alex did such a great job. I mean, the pig squeals, the growls, the classic metalcore screams. I sincerely believe that Alex is a very talented vocalist and he contributed in a major way to the general vibe and the sound of the EP. Then we've got Ash's drumming tying the whole thing together with his crazy transitions. And boy, do they know how to properly start a song. Also, the last song on the EP, Ecstasy, reminded me of Halo Reach, which, if you know me at all, is a very big compliment. By the way, how amazing was that trailer? Okay, I'm definitely playing Halo Reach tonight, but let's go back to the album. Ben made the artwork himself because at the time he was painting and creating designs, so it just made sense basically. After the release, the band blew up on MySpace, mostly because of their song When Curiosity Kills a Dog, which was by far their most popular, as I mentioned earlier. It's also how I personally found out about the band. It was in a breakdown compilation on YouTube showcasing the last part of the song. They also did an EP release show, which was insane. Later during the year, they went through some lineup changes back when Benny, their lead guitar player, had to be replaced. Then in 2009, they kept killing it live, playing the new songs, living the dream together. They even played with Whitechapel, which was a full circle moment for them. Unfortunately, in 2010, Alex had to quit the band and was replaced by their good friend Nick, who I think sounded great live. They also did some amazing tours, including one with Northlane. In early 2011, the band went back in the studio to record their very first full-length album, but it wasn't with Roman because he wasn't available, which brings us to March 2011 when Ennui Breathes Malice officially released Obsessive Repulsive. This album is incredible, or should I say, would have been incredible. What I mean is, there's something off in the overall production quality. I mean, if we compare this to this, I don't know, it just kind of sounds muffled to me, bland or something. There's just an overall lack of aggression almost. That being said, I still really appreciated the album for what it is. I've listened to it quite a few times, to be honest, as I was making this video. Ben also told me that they feel like it's their best material, and I can see why. The overall songwriting feels more mature and it's very well written, the melodies are catchy and memorable, and I love how the breakdowns are hitting in random parts. The vocals are very good. I think Nick did a great job on the album, super versatile, and I love the weird patterns he was doing. It reminded me of Years Since the Storm. Some other melodies reminded me of For the Fallen Dreams in a very good way. I'd be curious to hear this album produced by Roman or another good producer like Will Putney. I'm pretty sure it would sound incredible, but despite the fact that the band was disappointed with the sound, it was really well received live.
You Santa Clauses! What the fuck? Ah! Fuck your loss! Fuck your love!
Then they released an official video for the song Chalk and Turpentine, which was a performance video, pretty well done. So all in all, 2011 and 2012 were big years for Ennui Breathes Malice. They released the album, they played some amazing shows live with bands like Dire Is Murder, Lamb of God, The Black Dahlia Murder, and tons of amazing other bands. Unfortunately, Nick also had to quit the band and was replaced by their good friend Nathan. But it wouldn't be for very long since two other members had to quit, including Ash, their drummer, which ultimately broke the band. Until in 2014, believe it or not, they reunited with Alex, the original vocalist. They went back in the studio with Roman this time, and they released a brand new EP.
I feel so fucking sorry for
This EP is honestly very good. I didn't know it even existed prior to the video. I think it's mostly due to the fact that 2014 was this weird gent era and so many great albums flew under the radar in general. It was just, the scene was in a weird place, if you will. Let's dive into the music. So first, if you like the previous material they released, you're gonna like this one. It's kind of a mix of everything they've ever done, but with their evolution as a band and as individual artists. They re-recorded Premature Infatuation and they invited Nick to perform on it as a guest vocalist, which I thought was a really cool thing to do. I also think it's funny because I just said that I'd be curious to hear how it would sound with Roman, which is exactly what they did with this one. I gotta be honest though, I prefer Alex's vocals. No disrespect to Nick at all, I think he's an amazing vocalist, but Alex really just, he's doing the style that I love with the pig squeals and the gutturals. But yeah, if you never heard this EP, I really recommend listening to it. It's great, and I sincerely believe that it would have been received very well if it would have been released sooner. As for now, the band is still active, believe it or not. They played a couple of shows in the past few years, but the future is kind of unclear for the moment. Will they release new music? Are they gonna do some re-release of their previous material? Will this video get enough traction for them to come back like my other video did for Jerome? Time will tell, I guess. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, a big thank you to Ben who took hours of his time to tell me their story as a band, and Ash, their drummer, who sent me clips and pictures for the video. I really appreciate you guys. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, feel free to comment your stories, your opinions, anything, even if you think I'm wrong. I appreciate all of it. I have a lot of fun reading all your comments. I think it might be one of my favorite parts. Once again, thank you so much to all my Patreons. If you want to support me and the channel to a higher level, this is the best possible way. As for now, I'm finally gonna stop talking. I'll see you in the next one.